3 weeks to go until the Texas high school football playoffs, and there is everything on the line in Week 9. These are the picks. Welcome into the Picks, your guide to the Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Feel that chill in the air, right? It's actually kind of cold outside, and that means that Texas high school football is entering the home stretch of the regular season. Just 3 weeks left until we unveil the brackets on TexasFootball.com to see who's in, who's out, who's playing where, and who's got the best path to AT&T Stadium. And make no mistake, this week, in Week 9, a loaded slate of games across the state, those paths are going to be forged. Those roads are going to be paved, and some of these teams, their season's going to be over. Huge games everywhere you look. We start in Southeast Texas. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Tiger Stadium in Silsbee. It is a state-ranked matchup of unbeatens in 4A as the Hamshire-Fannett Longhorns visit the Silsbee Tigers. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number one, talk about Draylen Miller, the wide receiver for Silsbee. The 5-star Texas A&M commit is worth the price of admission alone. This kid is an absolute menace out there on the football field and one of the most polished receivers we've seen in the state of Texas in quite some time. This guy is unbelievable what he's able to do on the football field. Now, he's far from alone, right? Ashton Cartwright, their wide receiver, has been fantastic. Michael Moshier, their quarterback, has been excellent. And I really like Trey Kibbles, the running back they've got as well. This is a balanced team with a lot of different weapons, but let's be honest about who the star of this show is. It is Draylen Miller. And in a superstar game, can the superstar for the Tigers step up in a big way? Key number 2, the Longhorns Super Juniors. So Hamshire-Fannett, undefeated, state-ranked, looking fantastic, and you can make a real argument that this team is a year early because their entire offensive core is comprised of juniors. Quarterback Ty Bryson has been really fantastic. The running back Chris Augustine is a star in the making, and I really like this playmaker on the outside, Braxton Starnes. They have playmakers all over the field, and they're all pretty young. They're all underclassmen. They're all going to be back in another year. Now, you'd love to have a senior-laden team, right? But at the same time, their moment is right now. Forget next year. This is the moment for Hamshire-Fannett, an opportunity to go on the road and knock off an undefeated state-ranked Silsbee squad. Can these underclassmen come up big for the Longhorns? And key number 3, defensive splash plays. So we've talked a lot about the offenses, right? Silsbee, all their playmakers they've got. Hamshire-Fannett, this young core that's really exciting for the Longhorns. But the real secret for both these teams is that their defenses have been outstanding all year long, and it's because they make big plays at the critical moment. Hamshire-Fannett has been outstanding up front, led by Drew Pritchard. They've got 74 tackles for loss and 19 sacks on the year. Yes, they are serious about getting after you in the backfield. On the other side, this Silsbee defense, led by Pablo Lorenzi, has been excellent ball hawks. 13 interceptions on the season for the Tigers. These two teams have big explosive playmakers, but they also have explosive defenses that can change the game on a dime. So, which of these defenses can come up with that big play that's going to change the course of the game? Who am I picking? I'm going with Silsbee. The Tigers get the nod here for a couple of reasons. One, they have the single individual best playmaker on the field. That's Draylen Miller. And when in doubt, throw it to number 1. Not to mention Ashton Cartwright and a fantastic wide receiver himself. And Trey Kibbles, their running back, has been excellent as well. I think that offensive balance is going to be very good. Their defense makes plays. And they're going to be very hard for Hamshire-Fannett, I think, to move the ball consistently, even with the big-time playmakers that they've got. And this Ty Bryson, their quarterback, is serious business. So it should make for a really fun matchup. The biggest reason I like Silsbee, though, is that they have owned the series against Hamshire-Fannett. They're 12-1 in their last 13, including winners of their last 11 against the Longhorns. So history is on the side of the Tigers. Now, Hamshire-Fannett doesn't care about that, and they've got plenty of reason to believe that they can come up with this win, including their defense. I think Drew Pritchard is a real X factor for this Hamshire-Fannett defense. That said, I'm going with the home team. I'm going with the undefeated Tigers. Give me Silsbee. Let's bounce back up to North Texas. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Eagle Stadium in Brock. It is a state-ranked matchup in 3A as the Brock Eagles take on the Paradise Panthers. This feels like deja vu all over again. Feels like we did this exact same thing last year, and it turned out to be a pretty darn good ball game. I hope we get another one this time around. Brock ran through a brutal non-district schedule, came out 1-3, but once they've gotten into district play, it has been incredible to see the Brock machine get online. They have beaten their 3 district opponents by a combined margin of 202-3. Yeah, quarterback Brody Woods has settled into the offense, and Brett Tudor, their running back, is running really strong, plus defense. Yeah, that's what Brock does. On the other side, this Paradise team, once again 8-0 entering the Brock game and feeling like this could be the year, especially their defense has been lights out, allowing just 6 points per game, and quarterback Austin Iglesias has really grown as a quarterback. Now, this is on the road at Brock, which I think is a challenge for Paradise. The other thing is, I'm not sure how battle-tested Paradise is. I know how battle-tested Brock is. And in a close game like this, I think that matters. I think the Eagles come away with a narrow win. Let's go to 2A, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Warrior Stadium in Honey Grove. It is a matchup for district supremacy as the Cooper Bulldogs visit the Honey Grove Warriors. Honey Grove is the most interesting team in Texas high school football. Fight me on that. They are absolutely fascinating. Coach Shane Fletcher's ball club has the motto of no punts, no points. And up until last week, they had lived up to that. Through 6 games, except for the field goal that Quinlan Bowles kicked last week, they have not been scored upon. They also have not punted. They've outscored their opponents 320-3 through the first 6 games. Absolutely dominant performances from this Honey Grove team. The running game with Rylan Morris and Dion Morris has been absolutely fantastic. And their defense, I mean, they've given up 3 points in 6 games. What do you want? But here's the big test, because Cooper is coming to town. State-ranked Bulldogs are for real, and they have been on a heater offensively of late. Markel Smith, their running back, has been fantastic. Cannon Ingram, the quarterback, they're starting to really let him loose, and it has been very dangerous. Cooper is battle-tested. We know the wars they've been through. Honey Grove, I do not think, has seen a team like Cooper. They're still a mystery to me. Now, they could come out and win this game, but right now I have to go to the team with the better resume. Even with the gaudy numbers that you're seeing Honey Grove put up, I think Cooper is the team to beat in this one. Give me the Bulldogs. And let's go to the Rio Grande Valley, 7 o'clock Thursday night at PSJA Stadium in Pharr. It's a matchup of unbeatens between the... That can't be right. Matchup of unbeatens between PSJA Memorial and Roma? What? Believe it. These 2 teams have been on an absolute heater to start the year. Teams we picked to finish 4th and 5th in their district. Oops, they have had other ideas, and it's been because of the running game for both of them. Emiliano Kalunga leads this outstanding rushing attack for PSJA Memorial, which has really reinvented their offense to be a more ground and pound attack, and their defense has been pretty darn solid as well. For Roma, the slot T attack has been excellent. They have a bell cow back in Isaac Lozano, who is putting up crazy numbers each and every week. He's almost at 190 yards per game. He has been a lot of fun to watch. So what gives in this Thursday night matchup of unbeatens? I think you got to go with the team that has the better defense. I think that's PSJA Memorial, and I think being at home is going to help as well. I think PSJA Memorial stays unbeaten. But those are far from the only big games in Week 9 of the Texas high school football season. Let's get to the lightning round. Big test in Central Texas. I think Franklin passes it with a win over Lorena. The game of the year in Corpus Christi. I like Corpus Christi Miller in a close one over Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. And way out west in El Paso, I'm going with Canutillo over El Paso Chapin. Cy Falls knocks Cy Springs from the ranks of the unbeaten. I'm going with Chilton to get by Granger. And Alito's unbelievable district winning streak rolls on. They beat Denton Ryan. I like Beckville over Frankston. Give me Klein Collins to keep rolling with a win over Klein Kane. And did I mention it's a big week in El Paso? I like Eastwood over Montwood. I'm going with Graham over Sweetwater. It's the GOAT game in the Panhandle. I like Canyon over Canyon Randall. And in San Antonio, give me Burbank over Harlandale. Out east, I like Kilgore over Athens. In Central Texas, I think Mason keeps rolling with a win over Junction. And did I mention it's a big week in El Paso? I like Pebble Hills over Franklin. Give me Salina over Dallas Carter. Bracketville gets by Rock Springs. And down in San Antonio, I like Harlan over John Jay in a matchup of unbeatens. Some coin flip games here. I like Grandview in a close one over West. I like Jasper just barely over West Orange Stark. And give me Brownwood over Lubbock Estacado. Huge district showdown in 5-4A Division 1. I like China Spring over Stephenville. Huge showdown in the Little Southwest Conference. I like Midland over Odessa. And huge showdown in District 21-6A. I like Atascocita over CE King. It's the Kraut Bowl. I like Munster over Lindsay. Give me San Antonio Davenport over Lampasas. And how about Montgomery Lake Creek over Huntsville? One of the great rivalries in Texas high school football. I think San Benito beats Harlingen in the Battle of the Arroyo. Give me Seymour to take down Haskell. And Refugio beats Shiner. Smithson Valley gets by Bernie champion. Sunray takes down Groover. And I'm going with PSJA North to stay perfect with a win over McAllen Memorial. Sneaky game out east. I like Troop over West Rusk. Give me Wimberley to take down Geronimo Navarro. And keep an eye on this one, but I think Lake Travis squeaks by Dripping Springs. Longview all but clinches the district championship with a win over McKinney North. Give me Albany to stay perfect with a win over Roscoe. And I'm going with Edna to take down Goliad. Huge game in the Brazos Valley. I like College Station over Georgetown. Give me Odessa Permian to stay hot with a win over Wolfforth Friendship. And it's our first real big test for Carthage since week 1. I think the Bulldogs take down Center. Give me Idalou over Lubbock Roosevelt. Allen stays hot with a win over Denton Geyer. And in our 6-man game of the week, it's a good one. I like Miami over Follett. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? Which games did I leave out? Leave comments down below. Don't forget that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks for watching. Enjoy week 9 of the Texas high school football season. We'll see you.